Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Deirdre Vervo, and you're here on Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues, Alzheimer's, Dementia, and Parkinson's. And tonight we have some special guests that have been working with people with Parkinson's, dementia, and Alzheimer's for many years. So we have in the studio today, Rebecca Strichman and Robyn Martin, and they're both occupational therapists who saw a real need for ways to engage with seniors, especially seniors with Alzheimer's and dementia. They came up with a program and an online store which carries curated items for seniors, including a dedicated section just for dementia and Alzheimer's. They offer puzzles, games, crafts, fidgets, soothers, music, rhythm activities, and conversation promoters from many wonderful sources. They even have community service projects which can be done from home, as so many of our seniors have told us over the years so many of their seniors told them they feel useless and want to feel more part of society, and they wanted to change the perception. They have games that could be played virtually with family and friends. They're also very happy to collaborate with assisted living homes and staff and provide suggestions on how to modify activities to suit individual needs. They've even been asked by the Connecticut Chamber of Alzheimer's Association to hold 2 fundraisers with them. So they're ladies with a purpose and on a mission. And without further ado, let's meet them both. Hi, Rebecca and Robyn. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm sorry for the technical difficulties there a minute ago. Can't say I'm a real pro at computer as much as I try. Okay, we got to focus ourselves in our little area here. So why don't you tell us how you started and why you started this company?
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay, well, as you said, we have lots of years of experience working with people with Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, and all other issues that mostly cause them to be homebound. And often family members or the patients themselves would ask us, where can they get items that they can do during the day that would keep them engaged? And so we came up with Dabblesack. And we have lots of great resources, lots of vendors, and we just want to provide better moments for people.
So you were sourcing all the games and everything?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
right. We have
and how did you come up with the name?
Well, you're dabbling in lots of different things. They're dabbling in all the things that you said, the games, the crafts, the puzzles, community service projects, all kinds of activities. So they're dabbling in various things, and we can send you a little sack that contains some of the smaller items so they don't get lost.
Oh, lovely.
We had the back, the dab. We have a nice little bag. So after you're done with having your activity session, you can put all the items, puzzles, games right back in the bag and just hang it up. So they're all kind of still together too. For caregivers to just come into the door, pull the bag out and see what they can do.
Yeah, and so as occupational therapists, were you specializing in senior care?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly senior.
Are you 2 ladies friends, or were you coworkers, or how did that get started?
Well, it's such a long story, ancient history, but Robyn was originally teaching an exercise class that I was taking, and that was 30 years ago.
Yes.
Ancient history. And that's how we originally met, and we've worked together for a very long time.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Actually, Rebecca was my mentor, and she kind of not push me, but I was excited to go into the path of occupational therapy when I was about 30. And then we ended up working together in home care for 20 years together. And that's, working in the homes and assisted livings. And that's where we really work with many patients that had, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, and other, you know, diagnoses. But yep, that's how we've been together for 30 years.
That is amazing. So in playing games with seniors, what have you seen? Have you seen any cognitive improvement? Like what does game playing and keeping them engaged do for the brain with dementia and Parkinson's?
Oh, that's such a good question. Well, just to talk about games in general, they go back a very long time. Humans, they found evidence that humans played games as early as ancient Egypt and possibly even earlier than that. And so they're really part of our collective history, but they're also a part of just a person's individual history. Most people are familiar with games, playing games, and what is familiar is often very comfortable. And games promote focus, they promote thinking, they promote conversation, socialization. They're great icebreakers, especially when you have a new caregiver involved. They're great for range of motion, strength, coordination, balance, and they're just wonderful for quality time.
Right.
Family members can spend really great time with their loved one, and they're just fun. In terms of your question, I tried to do some research on this, and you find that sometimes there have been studies with video games and cognition, but not a lot of board games really, or card games that I was able to find. But it's more to us about just getting people engaged and involved and thinking and talking and being with each other in a fun way. We just got a message from somebody recently that 3 generations played a game and they haven't laughed so hard and so loud in a long, long time.
That's so much fun. That is rewarding in and of itself. And right now, with everybody homebound, not just people that are typically homebound, but everybody homebound with COVID, this is the time. I mean, this is the entertainment and stimulation. I have a funny thing to tell you. I have, I have a senior home in Shelton with 6 seniors. It's like a group home. And I have a woman in there that cannot remember anything. So she keeps eating like she's like 6 meals a day because she forgets, that she's eaten breakfast. But she remembers every game she plays.
Wow.
She does a puzzle and we try to do it with her again. She's like, I did that puzzle already. I played that game already. She can't remember anything else but the game she plays.
That's fun.
It's really quite amusing. But
we often hear the opposite, but it's okay. We hear somebody's having a wonderful time playing a game, and then maybe an hour or less later, if you say, "Oh, Mom, I heard you had a lot of fun playing that game," they won't remember.
Like, yeah, no,
it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
They had fun while they were doing it.
Yeah, that's the point while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So super. Were you going to tell us today a few games or suggestions?
Yeah, we had a couple of suggestions first, and then we were going to play some games. So just in terms of when to play, and I have a couple of bullet points here, and I don't want to leave anything out. So you want to play when the person is rested. You want to keep in mind that if something is successful at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, that doesn't mean it's going to be successful at 10 o'clock Wednesday morning or 3 o'clock on Tuesday. Just keep trying different times. If it doesn't work, if they're not in the mood, just put it away. It's okay. We definitely recommend playing in a well-lit area. You want the person playing to be well rested. Modify the length of the game time as needed. Whatever the person wants to do, if it's a couple of minutes, that's fine. Involve caregivers, professional caregivers, involve family caregivers, involve neighbors, involve grandchildren. It makes their visits a lot more fun. And also, if you're introducing the game, you can just say, Mom, we're just going to play a game. Hopefully it'll be fun. And if they're resistive to it, it really depends on the person. You can just say, you want to just try a few minutes and see what happens? Or if they're just not in the mood, just let it go, come back another time. And then I think, Robyn, you have some safety tips?
Yes. So some safety tips when you're working with senior in the dementia community. If they're in a wheelchair, obviously this is our therapist speaking, make sure the wheelchair is locked and their feet are placed on the ground. When you're playing with some games that possibly may have some small pieces or whether they're little tiles, or we have a few games that have like dices or anything small, you want to make sure you have them all back in the box before you leave, or don't leave the person unattended either if you're playing the game, and especially if they like to put things in their mouths. And when you're playing a game with them, it's best not to hover over them and to invade kind of their space. You want to maybe provide some close supervision, kind of sitting on the side of them to give them some space. Another thing also is we talked about making sure they wear their glasses or their hearing aids if they have them. A couple of little hints with some smaller pieces. We have a picture, I'm not sure if we can share, but to lay out a terry cloth towel on the surface. And so some people have a hard time manipulating with their fingers, or they can't pick up cards or little objects.
It's a great tip.
It's wonderful. We just used it with my mother-in-law, and my husband was like, "Oh my God, that really worked." So yes, it is a great tip. And you can actually pick up things that you're not able to pick up, the card or a little piece of like a dice or anything, and it works very well. Just the quiet environment. Make sure it's lit, lighted, and yeah, we can talk about how to modify some of our games. But you want to talk about that, Rebecca? Or would you like me to continue?
Yeah, you can continue, and you're doing a good job.
Robyn,
Thank you.
Robyn, do you find that, like we find that sometimes people that say they don't want to participate, we'll sit next to them and play the game with somebody else, and just that's kind of enough participation oftentimes for the senior, because oftentimes they may say they don't want to because they're not sure how to start or think they can't do it. So just to sit next to them and then just engage them, like say you choose a red one or something.
Absolutely. That's a great question, Deirdre, because yeah, sometimes their favorite word is no, right? Or they don't want to be involved, correct?
Yeah.
Sitting next to them, you will say, "Oh, well, Rebecca, why don't we do this together? And we'll play with somebody else. You help me. You help me.
Yeah.
It's your turn. You help me choose something. If you ask them maybe to help you, then you can probably get them to get more involved that way. So if they say no, observation, absolutely. Sometimes those games or activities will work at 10 o'clock one day, and the next time you pull them out and you want to do something and you're in a good mood, but it may not work for them either that day. So you just have to kind of go with the flow, really. And sometimes you can get through 10 minutes of the game. Sometimes it may be 20 minutes. So you really have to be flexible and creative when you're doing any kind of games with your seniors. So.
And do you have like an all-time favorite?
I'm telling you, we have had so much fun this year. Rebecca and I, and my family and her families, we have so much fun analyzing these games and looking into them. It's like, oh, would this be good for senior, or would this be good for someone that has dementia? And we've just been having a great time modifying these games, finding these games, and these wonderful vendors love working with us right now. And there's many games you probably have never heard of before. And when we play,
we do have people here checking in saying that you have great quality vendors.
Oh, thank you.
And some
people
giving you a little heads up here. Thumbs up here.
It's really fun to actually analyze, and that's what occupational therapists do as one of our strengths. Is we want to see if it would work for somebody, and it's all about being creative and modifying and having fun. having fun is the biggest thing with playing games with your loved ones, your seniors. It's quality time, not quantity. It's the quality that you want to have. You want to have those better moments, and that's kind of like our motto too, is creating better moments. So
Super. So I know all your games are online on Dabblesack. Are you going to show us any? I can take them
Absolutely.
off screen so you have a little more space. I'm going to do that. I can
Yeah.
still hear you.
We have some really great games, and we picked some to show you for different reasons. So the first one that we have is called Slapsy, and we love it because the pictures are bold, they're colorful, they're fun, and there are lots of ways to modify this game. So the way that you play, you're really playing on a tabletop, but for today's purpose, we're going to hold the cards up instead. We'll tell you how you play the game by the rules, and then we can tell you how you can modify it. So each player would be getting 5 cards, and the cards look like this. Let's see if I can. They have front and back pictures. So we'll just show you our 5. So really you have a total of 10 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Figure out the camera. Here's another picture. Ice skates.
All right. One more.
Here we go. My gosh.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold 2 together, but.
And then I'll do that.
Okay. New game. Figure out how to get the picture in the camera. Okay. So the way that you really play, you have your 5 cards on the table. They're double-sided, pictures on both sides, a different picture on each side. And then there are clue cards that look something like this. Fits inside your fist, for example. And everybody at the same time looks at their cards front and back. And if you have a card that matches that clue, you put it out on the table over the clue. So Robyn and I are going to look at our cards right now. And okay, she beat me. So she wins that card. And
then to get rid of your 5 cards, correct, Rebecca?
Yes, the object is to get rid of your 5 cards, meant to go in your mouth. So if you have something that goes in your mouth, oh, she's got that. And okay, I was slow on the trigger here. Candy corn, but Robyn would win that card because she got it out faster than I did. And then we'll show you one more. Taller than you. And I've got the Statue of Liberty here, so I would put that card out. And if you have a card that matches and you're the first one out on the table, you win that card, and the object is to get rid of your cards. And so if playing by the rules is just too much, it's too overwhelming, there are lots of ways that you can modify Slapsy. One is just don't use 5 cards. Don't just cut it down. Use 3 cards or 2 cards or even 1 card. Don't use the back. You can just use the picture on one side. Work together with the person if they're struggling, if they're getting frustrated. Work with them and talk them through, brainstorm together. So if the clue says taller than you, you can look at 2 cards and say, well, what do you think? Do you think the Statue of the candy corn is taller than you, or the Statue of Liberty? And a lot of times when you're giving 2 choices like that, instead of keeping it open-ended, give 2 choices. That makes it a little easier. When you're giving 2 choices, some people find that if you mention the first one, which is wrong, and the second one, which is right, and put more emphasis into your voice for the second one, that helps cue the person. So if you say, well, let's see, which is taller than you? Do you think it's candy corn or the Statue of Liberty? That kind of helps a little bit too. You can also just use the pictures to spark conversation. So you could take, for example, a picture with a guitar on it and just ask, did you ever play the guitar? Do you know anybody who plays the guitar? Do you like to listen to music with guitars? What kind of musical groups do you like? Just use the conversations as a kickoff, use the cards as a kickoff to conversation. You can also brainstorm other clues to go with the card. So if you have, for example, this watering can, you can say, well, what kind of clues could we come up with for someone to guess watering can? And hopefully they'll be able to come up with something, and definitely cue and prompt as much as is needed. And you can also, as a reverse, come up with other objects that can work with the clue. And don't even worry about the picture card. So if you say, well, let's see, can we think of anything that's used in a sport? Then you just try to come up with a list together. So you want to make the games non-threatening. You want to make them fun. If competition is too much, forget the competition and just play in a different way. And don't be afraid to really change the rules if you need to. Just have fun with the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one game, and we really do love that game.
No,
Then we have another game. Oh,
it's a lot of fun to do. Also, not just with two people, but like with the intergenerational, a younger, because these cards are pretty universal. Like a younger child would actually understand the cards along with a senior. So it's really kind of a fun activity to do with somebody younger when you go for a visit or something. So
it really is. And it really is a lot of fun, and it can get really rowdy, but
yeah.
you can also play it very calmly too. So not to worry. The next game that we wanted to do is called That's It. And we wanted to present that to you because even though it's really meant to play in person, you can play it virtually. And so we thought we would have some fun and give you some of the clues and see if everybody watching wants to type in an answer. So the game comes with cards, clue cards, and there are various clues on the card. And they provide you with one answer on the card. Your task is to come up with the word just by luck that matches the answer that they provide. For example, they may have something like something that you find in a kitchen, and there are a lot of correct answers for that question, but they may have just one answer here. So you could say refrigerator, but if they have toaster on the card, that's the one that they're wanting somebody to say. So we can try playing the way you're supposed to play, and then we'll tell you how you can modify this game as well. So is everybody ready? We're going to play. Type in your answer if you want. An ice cream sundae topping. Anybody has any suggestions? Type it in. Or Robyn and Deirdre, just say what you think.
Cherry.
Okay, those are great answers, but the crazy part of this game is to try to match the answer that they have here. So just keep shouting out answers.
Sprinkles.
Oh, keep going.
Nuts.
Nope. I'll give everybody a couple. The answer is butterscotch.
I was going to just say that.
So that nobody got a point that round. The next one is something found in a living room.
TV.
Something found in a living room. Nope, just keep calling it out or typing it in.
A lamp.
Nope. Oh, yes. Deirdre, you got it. Yes.
Yay.
And we'll just do one more. Something that runs on a schedule.
A lamp. A TV. I don't know.
You have to read, it'll have like a timetable or a schedule.
A daytimer?
Nope. Nope. Something that runs on a schedule. Oh, good guess. Good guess.
A train.
Yes. You, Amy Strichman and Robyn got to have a tie there. So, and it just gets crazy like that. The way that you can modify this game, oh, bus would have been a good answer too. If trying, I don't know if it shows up here, but the card has the question and then it has their answer. Again, there are millions of correct answers for these questions, but they're wanting you to try to see, just on a wild guess, if you can guess the one that's on the card. And the person who guesses it, that's it. That's why they call it That's It. But if that's becoming too frustrating for a person and they just feel like they're giving good answers and they're not matching the card and they're not really grasping, that's the crazy twist of the game and the fun twist of the game. You can just say, all right, you gave a correct answer. We'll give you a point. If playing for points is too stressful, don't bother playing for points. Just go with the game. It's just a lot of fun, and it really keeps you thinking and kind of going outside the box sometimes a little bit. So it's a really fun game to play, and it's fun to play in person, but it's also fun to play virtually.
Yeah, Rebecca, you have had some success with playing that virtually too, correct?
Yes, we played it virtually on Zoom, and it really is a lot of fun. If it's too much, the suggestions in the rules are to have everybody kind of shouting out answers at the same time, and that is a lot of fun. But if it's too many people or it's just getting too overwhelming for an individual, just go around the room and maybe just say, okay, Robyn, what's your answer? Deirdre, what's your answer? Make it a little calmer and quieter. Mm-hmm. And again, if it's too much for the person playing to try to shoot for the word that they're matching, that you want to match here to the card, just let them give an answer and brainstorm together. If they're having trouble figuring out themselves, just kind of give them ideas and talk it through. And it really is a lot of fun. People have a lot of fun with that game.
I don't know how we got like this, but okay. that was great advice, Rebecca.
Thank you.
What I like about these games is their cards. So they're really compact. They're easy. You could travel with them. You could play them outside. You could play them. Take them to somebody's house. It's not like I bring around my master Scrabble board because it's huge. No, but this is like compact and small. Also, like you said, you could make up almost any game with that.
You really can.
You could just ask them what colors are on the pictures. You could ask them, words rhyme. Like you can make up a million just from the pictures, right? Yeah. So those are great games, and just all the suggestions you have to go along with that. You could take one deck of cards and make it into 10 different games at different times. And the beauty is they're familiar to them. Even if you show it to them as a different game, now they're familiar and they're getting really comfortable with it, even if you're changing up the game. So I love the whole idea.
That's right. It's so true. So we have a few more to talk about for different reasons. We wanted to present this one. I'm just going to hold up the pieces. It's called Honeycombs. And it's from
Rebecca. Do you have the bag? What it looks like?
Yes, it comes in this cute little beehive bag. It's from a company. Yeah, it's from a company in Canada.
Right.
And we had a video, but it's too complicated.
Do we have a picture of the honeycomb?
Of Jane playing honeycomb? No. But so, these are what they look like.
I can kind of figure out what's happening here, right? So you have 6 different visuals on it, and they have to match it up.
Yes.
So basically, yes, there's like 52 of the tiles. And what we really like about these tiles is they're thicker and they're larger. So anyone that has some problems with manipulating things, it's really a nice game. And it actually is, again, you can modify it however you want to play it. You can be competitive where you split some tiles up, like you'll have 25 and the other person will have 25, and you start with one tile. and the object is to match the same symbol on one, if you can see Rebecca's, to the other. And then when you get to the kitty corner, you have to match the little
Oh,
bear and the green, or else you cannot go in there.
that gets
So
tricky.
yeah, so they do have like a wild card. I believe the honeybee is a wild card, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. So there's many ways of playing. You can what I like is my husband actually goes to see his mother a lot, and she has a multitude of our games, but they sit down and they just play the game, and it's enjoyable time together, and it's a little bit of thinking game too. And like, oh, it's your turn, you try, and then she'll try, and then you can create. It comes out whatever it looks like. It could come out like different patterns. It could be large, small. Again, you can modify it however you want. You can,
Well, this game looks like you could play it over and over because it's not
it is.
like you do a puzzle and you do the
It's
same
it's
puzzle and you
Right, that's right.
it's
it's
almost
like
it's almost
yeah,
like creating a new puzzle every single time.
lovely. And now, how much does a game like this cost? It's called Honeycomb, right?
I
Yes.
think it's about $20. It comes with 52
52
of these.
tiles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're really nice. They've got like a nice sheen to them, and they have a nice little heft. They really are nice.
I like the size, and I could see that you ladies have really put a lot of thought into each puzzle piece and each game piece, and just how, I guess, because you're occupational therapist, how, my mom is an artist and she's 83, and I make puzzles out of her artwork.
Oh,
Wow.
She's requested bigger, thicker pieces because all her friends are in their mid to late 80s, like she is, in the tiny pieces or they're too thin.
Right.
So, it was not hard. It was not easy finding a place that had, thicker, bigger pieces. So you have done a lot of sourcing.
right.
Oh, yes, we have.
Yes.
We do have. There are puzzles called easy grip puzzles that we have that are really nice and really big. They're also made in Canada, I think. And they're also, I know we're veering off into puzzles, which is great, but we have an intergenerational puzzle. And the pieces come in 3 different sizes. So they're big size, the medium size, and the littler sizes. So different generations can work on them together, and it's really fun. It's really, really fun. We also wanted to mention about gross motor games, because those are really important and they're really, really fun, and they can also be modified down. And so Robyn had a really great game that we had a picture, but it's not.
We have a picture of it. It's really hard to describe, but I'll try. It's like a curling game, and it's like a long, it's kind of like a plasticky long sheet of paper, and there's a big bullseye at the end of it. So each person gets like these little, I guess, pieces. Like you would have 4, and I would have 4, and you would actually slide it down the alley and try to get into the bullseye, just like the curling game. And again, you can modify it. You can shorten up the runway, the alley there. You could also, it's a great range of motion um, activity that you can do. And if somebody's having a difficult time, you can actually put your hand over theirs and help them with the motion. It's just something different to, other than just doing a puzzle or a game, and then it just creates a little bit more movement with your upper body. And I wish we had a picture to show you.
So are you saying that you have a whole segment of games that are for more physical?
Yes, we have like games.
What would you call that? What would you call that? Is that labeled under something? That is
More gross motor type of games, yeah.
Yeah,
gross motor games. Okay, so to learn and hone your gross motor skills, keep them active.
And,
stay active, yeah.
Keep active.
That game is 47 inches long, I think. It's really long. It's
I wish we had
great.
pictures to show.
Really, you can play it at a table, but it's long. It's almost 4 feet, and it unrolls, so it goes into a closet very nicely. You can just roll it up when you're not using it, and then it unrolls about 4 feet long, and you can sit at the table and just try to shoot that disc down to the target.
I would say disc, yes. It has a little
Yeah. I think
ball on it, yes.
I think in curling they might call it the stone. I don't know. Somebody correct us if we're wrong. But it really is a lot of fun. And when Robyn did it the other day with somebody, she just shortened the lane, so it was a lot easier. I don't think they would have had the strength to sail it across those 47 inches, but you can shorten it up so that they can get to the target.
Mm.
So,
It's really
Robyn, how do you source these games? Are you looking at tons and tons of games and then buying them and figuring out if they're right for seniors and how they can be modified?
Yeah, basically, yeah, we're always on the lookout to see what's new and kind of exciting. And if you look at our games alone, you'll be like, I've never heard of that game. But Rebecca and I, we go to the Javits Center every year to the big toy convention.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of our most exciting days out of the year, because we pull along a suitcase, and there are thousands of exhibits, and that is where we walk around and we observe, we look at different games, and you get to talk to the vendors, and we really have found some amazing games that nobody's ever heard of, and that's what's we have a blast there. It is really fun.
It is so much fun.
And we meet the vendors, and that's how we get connected with them, and then we work with them, and we try to see how we would modify it, and we look, oh, this would really work for seniors, and they go, really? So it's kind of like a network in both ways and stuff, but it's really fun to go and find some new things.
Put your comfy walking shoes on and walk that,
all day long.
I've done that a few times.
There was one other game that we wanted to mention that we just found out about.
Oh,
and
sure.
it's amazing, and it's so unique and innovative. And Robyn tried it the other day. She's got it.
News right here.
Breaking, yeah.
You cannot pronounce it. It's actually called We See. And we just got this in. Rebecca, can you just say the quote that the gentleman gave you about the person that had dementia that absolutely loves this game before?
Yes, I can try to paraphrase it because I don't have it directly with me, but well, first of all, we were told that game stretches from 4 years old to, I think, 94 years old. But they got a really beautiful note from somebody who said that her father had later stage of dementia and loved playing the game because this game is very open-ended. There's no absolutes, no absolute right or wrong. It's what you see in the card, and you can use the cards to connect, play kind of like domino connecting kind of versions of the game, but you can also just use them to create stories. And it's really amazing. You have to let your mind just go. You don't necessarily have to say, this is what this is a picture of. It's what you see it as. And we all see things differently sometimes.
Yeah.
I was doing this the other day with my husband, and he thought that something looked like the lock on a window, and I thought it looked like a turtle. So, and you can connect the cards in whatever way you see fit. And it's really a creative, really amazing, beautiful game. And it comes with, I think, over 200 picture cards. And it's just really a lot of fun because there are no boundaries to it. There's no right or wrong. So it really allows you to play and take it in whatever way however you see the pictures and however you want to tell stories with them.
I really truly think this is going to be a very popular game with our senior population and our dementia community. It just fosters creativity, communication,
Mhm.
socialization, and what I love about it is it's like endless possibilities that you can change the game up, and you really use your imagination and your own creativity. um, and there's no rules, so you have no frustrations either. So that's what makes it so unique. The cards are gorgeous, and all ages could actually relate to all of the different cards. And they actually have some instructions inside, and there are like 5 6 different ways you can play different games with this. Very very creative, and I think this is going to be really fun for people to play with their loved ones. Really, really fun.
It
So,
would be great also for intergenerational play as well.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really, 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 really great.
It's like not intimidating at all because there's no rules, and so I really like that about this game. It's beautiful.
Well, I could definitely see how children can interpret things differently than adults can. It's like a Rorschach test. It's like,
It
Yeah,
kind of is, yeah. And there are lots of suggestions for play, lots of suggestions for different kinds of play, more open-ended creative play. But I think there's a part for competitive play as well. So,
yes.
but it's really, really great. It's a really great game.
Robyn and Rebecca, you ladies are lovely. So tell me a little bit about how do you go into homes like assisted living and nursing home? Do you help people there, or are you strictly online, or how does it work?
Well, with COVID, it's really kind of handcuffing us to do really what we would love to do. I'm fortunate because I'm still working as an occupational therapist in home care, so I can use many of my products, and with my patients, or so I really get to see how they may work, how they may enjoy them, and most of the time, I always get, where do you get this stuff? Where did you find this? So, and it adds a little fun to therapy too. I know I had some of my therapy friends out there, but it really adds fun to your therapy sessions. And we're doing therapy with the games, the gross motor, the cognitive, visual. So yeah, I'm lucky I can be out there still and work with people and teach them how to, and actually the caregivers are is kind of educating the caregivers at the same time with how you would modify the game, how you can play, maybe put it into their daily routine every day at 10 o'clock after breakfast, include some of these activities, and usually they like the routine and they like the different activities too.
Yeah, and you were saying that the Connecticut chapter of Alzheimer's Association, you've participated in some fundraisers.
Hmm.
Have those been live events, pre-COVID? No?
Not yet.
They're all, everything has been post-COVID pretty much. We kind of discovered each other. So, but we can't wait till we can start bringing in.
When did you start the company?
Well, we launched, our website was launched just about a month before COVID hit.
Great timing.
I know.
So all the things that we wanted to bring to places, we were supposed to bring some things to a senior center and run some groups with them to test things out, but never came to be. So, but we're hoping that pretty soon there'll be the light at the end of the tunnel, which actually shows through. And right now, it's great for people who are homebound and really have nothing to do
Well,
to.
that's kind of the catch-22, because if you had launched, prior and people knew, more people knew or aware, they would have all these now games in their possession to be playing while everybody is homebound and wondering what to do next. So, it's kind of same thing with me. I opened up the senior home during COVID, and you can't invite people to come and see it. So it's COVID safe. So it's like a catch-22. It's ideal for this time, but getting the word out about it. So I'm so happy that you came on to get the word out about it here. Let's see, we have so many comments here. And Loretta says, I guess is it QC or CC?
Wow. Oh, it's pronounced, it's we see.
We see.
They explain in their little book. It's the French word for yes and the Spanish word for yes. And it's we see because we all see things differently sometimes. So we can see them in different ways, and that's okay. So you're a Lego facilitator. Wow. That's fantastic. A Lego facilitator. That's amazing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Well, you ladies have really hit on something big and very important, and it's amazing that you are sourcing these and playing them and making sure they're perfect for seniors. And I could definitely see how they're great for kids, regular seniors, regular people, and people with dementia and memory care issues, especially need things modified for them and games that they are having fun with and don't feel overwhelmed by. So I love it. I love the size of the pieces. I love the colors. I love that you've thought of all different ways to modify them. I love the simplicity of them too. It's not like you're pulling out something big and complicated with a lot of pieces.
No.
Right.
So
That's right. And we just want people to remember, don't be afraid to try games. I know it can sometimes be intimidating. What do I do and how do I do it? But just let the person that you're playing with be your guide. If they need it simpler, you'll be able to tell, and just bring it down. Just keep making it more simplified and work together, brainstorm answers, talk it through together, make it non-threatening, and you
Have fun.
have fun. Yeah, just have fun. That's really what it's about.
I love it, ladies. You are both inspirational, and I'm sure you're excellent at what you do with occupational therapy. And I love how you took it to the next level.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I've been friends forever, and I think that's great. And great things come out of when you see a need and necessity. So, from what you saw, now you've created something even larger than yourself. So I love that. So I actually went on the website 2 weeks ago and circled some games I was interested in. And now that you have pointed them out, I definitely will be getting the honeycomb game.
Oh, it's a really beautiful game.
Yeah, I love it. Especially if people are good at puzzles or more adept. And, this is way more interesting. So
It's really a beautiful game.
Thank
And
you.
for people, if they have questions, they can always reach us. If they're not sure how something exactly plays or how it would work or how they can change it, we're happy to chat with people.
Well, that's lovely. On your website, I didn't see a phone number. So do you just want people to go to your website? Or would you like to give them your phone number?
There's a contact us page, and if they want us to call them, we can.
Okay. So
yeah.
type in their answer questions and you'll call them.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, because you're working full time too. So, you need to have get back to them.
We always get back to them. We always will, yeah.
Well, Robyn and Rebecca, thank you so much. Will you come on again when you have more games and things to demonstrate, especially when we could be live?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I would love that.
That would be fun.
I would love that. And I wish you such success with such a fantastic idea and such a needed program. I've scoured the internet for things to come up with, and you've figured it out and put them in one place. So thank you so much, ladies.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, and be well.
Yes, we'll talk again. Thank you. Bye now. Wow, Dabblesack, I love it. If you've gotten some good ideas from this, just go on their website, Dabblesack.com. And both Rebecca and Robyn are amazing. And the way they just saw a need and something that could be easily rectified if they just put their minds to it and start a business and helped others, putting everything in one place. That's great. I love it. That's super. And if you're looking for ideas for your seniors at home or when you go visit them, wherever they are, check out Dabblesack. You will not be disappointed. There are so many games on there. They touched upon just a few because of the time, but there are at least 100 or more. So I've checked it out and you're going to love it. So stay tuned for more to come because I'm sure they're going to be bringing us more and more as they keep venturing out. All right, well, that's it for today. And I thank you all for coming to Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues. So I'm Deirdre Vervo, your host. And until tomorrow, I wish you all stay safe.
Hi, Deirdre here again. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues. Is this an issue hitting home? Do you have a parent or loved one with memory care issues who you feel is not safe at home anymore? Are isolation, falls, and safety issues becoming a big concern? Welcome to Dogwood Senior Home, premier boutique residential senior living specializing in memory care. It's country living at its best in the Huntington section of Shelton, Connecticut. We're truly a home with only 6 senior residents living as one family unit. Senior residential homes are concepts sweeping the nation with 47,000 across the U.S. We're pleased to open Dogwood Senior Home as it will be only number 6 for Connecticut. Brand new, sparkling clean, opening mid-June. And safe, safe, safe. We are COVID-free. Residential care homes boast a very low COVID infection rate across the nation. This is due to the intimacy of size and speed in which the caretakers can shift to accommodate immediate needs. They are much safer than the large homes and facilities, as you can imagine. It has been documented that residents have less falls and a better quality of life in a residential home environment. Our home is more affordable than the big box facility. You pay one all-inclusive price, and that price is guaranteed for the life of the resident. With an incredible 1-to-3 caregiver ratio, which you won't find anywhere else. Our friendly, loving caregivers are dedicated and trained in Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's issues. We're only taking 6 residents, so the home will fill up fast. Call me at 203-689-7562 for a talk and tour. I would love to meet you and your loved one. See you soon. Bye.